Hi everyone, welcome. We're starting in a couple of minutes, so I've just started early so I could say hi to everyone. So we've had heaps already pop in today. We've got Deb and Debbie, Tamara, hi Tamara, Jacinth is it? I've got hi, Kathy, Dawn, Katrina, Sylvie was there earlier. Is Rosa there? I've got Lo, hi Lo. You're not cooking today, are you? No cooking until after, please. Loretta, hi Loretta. Hi Grace, thanks for coming. Hi Linda. Randy, did I say hi? I've got Cheshire Cat there. Sharon. Hi from Tassie. Hi from Victoria down there. Well, Italian food's better than Lo burning her muffins. Hi to the regular people who are watching today. For those that have just come in and never done a live feed before, there is a live chat button under the video. So click on that if you'd like to join in. Indian, sorry. okay, it's little writing. And guys, the chat is on the side. On my desktop, sorry, it pops up on the side. If you're on a phone or mobile device, it usually pops up underneath. I think if you turn the device sideways, it comes up on the screen. But if you'd like to comment, you can do that underneath. So pop in and say hi. I'm coming in and out, am I? I can't tell. I can't see what's actually streaming. I tend to pause it because otherwise it makes the upload a little fuzzy. So yes, Randy, I've been sharpening all my pencils this morning with my little Deli Froggy sharpener here. He's pretty cute. I actually added it to my kit this morning and also added pan pastels to my kit so you guys can see that. If you're wondering what my kit is, there's like a website which is really handy, and it posts, I could post in all of the products that I actually use so you guys can see those as well. But yeah. Yeah, I've never tried a pip pen. I had a look at a pip pen yesterday in the art shop, actually. Yes, I did another trip. And had a play. Yeah, they just kind of reminded me of what we call a texter here in Australia, so. Hi Ray, Kimberly. Who else just popped in? Did I miss? Oh, Christine, I see you up there. Guys, if you want to get my attention in the live chat, Linda's already doing it, but if you write in capital letters, I can see it a little bit more easier. And I will be able to pick it up. Hi, Teresa. Thank you for dropping in. And yeah, makes it a little bit easier. I think that's everyone that's come in so far, so I hope I've grabbed you. If not, hello. Yeah, well, we don't have that here either, so it'd be good to have other different types of art shops. So, what's the time? I think I'll run through what I've got here on my board. I've got my little soft brush. I've got a white gel pen. I use a Uniball one, Signo Uniball. Links to that is in the description. Now, I've got a couple of extenders today because all my pencils are all running out. I've got my Zero Mono Eraser. I've also got an electric eraser as well, and I've also got a pencil eraser thing here too. I've got the Derwent one, and I have this strange looking thing here, but I like it because I can sharpen it like a real pencil. It's an eraser. I've got a Prismacolor white pencil and a Prismacolor black pencil. And I also have the Caran full blender. I don't know if I'll use it today, but I'm just showing you guys now. I'm putting them all in my bucket as I go. Hi, Julie. I've got a white Luminance pencil as well. Caran Luminance. Okay, so these are my colours, which I'll run through in a minute. We're colouring this image, and I didn't realise there's actually a shadow behind the little blurb at the bottom. But the artist's name is Ivory Schaffer. I think that's what her art name is, and I don't know how to say her full name, Vladisivia. I don't know. So I do apologize, Adi, because I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So, but she's actually given us this image to color. If you're new and haven't joined the event yet, if you pop over to my group, make sure you answer the questions to be allowed into the group, and then once that happens, you can go and join the event there. It will be available for the 4 weeks. Before the last video, it will be finished, so it's best that you grab it within those 4 weeks so you don't miss out. Yeah, I'm using the Prisma Black because it's a lot finer, and I'm only going to be using it for the eyelashes and things. You could use a fine liner or something if you wanted as well. But the Prisma Black, I don't know. I just like the Poly Black. Got Mona, hi. Who else have we got there? Julie, I already said hi to. I think I'm caught up again. Okay, so shall I go through the colours? So today we're going to use Caput Mortuum. That one, you all know it. 169. That's going to be the first one I use. I've then got Sanguine 188. I've got, I don't know the number, so let me just open. I've got Cinnamon, and that is 189. I've got Light Flesh 132. Hi Sherry. Hi Caran. Little Shadow is asleep behind me on the couch. Tamara? Nope, she's not. She's wandering around somewhere. I'm sure she'll find us eventually. I've got Ivory 103. I've got Cream 102. And then we've got some of the details here. I'll be using Fuchsia 123. I've got Light Purple Pink 128. And we've got Delft Blue 141 and Sky Blue 146. I'm going to put those ones in there for now. I do love my polys. I've been using them a bit lately. Yeah, I've posted this up on the event wall. It is a copy of the Prismacolor list, so the 120 colours are on here. So if you're stuck and don't have a particular colour or don't have polys, if you go there and find this chart, find what I'm actually using, find that colour and match it to your own brand there. So if you wanted orange glaze, have a look at that color there and try to match it as best you can. Now obviously it's not going to be exactly the same, but that doesn't matter. It's the idea behind it and learning how to do shading and things like that. So it's still, you're still going to learn something even if you don't have the brand of pencils that I've got. I do mean polys, you're right. That's okay. I meant what I said and I said what I meant. No. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do this one. Just seeing if I can find a sneak peek of tomorrow's speed colouring that's coming out. No, I don't know where it's hiding. Oh well, you miss out. Sorry. I don't know where it disappeared to. Oh well. Doing a Christine Caran image that's coming out tomorrow, the Northwind 2 Fairy. So if you want to catch the speed colouring for that one, it'll be up tomorrow morning. Also for patrons, there will be a full video for that one, so check it out. So if you haven't heard of Patreon, the links for that are in the description below. I do have a Patreon page where you can go along and subscribe, and I post up full videos and colour lists and things like that. So it is well worth $5 a month, and I would love to see you guys there if you aren't there already. And I thank you to all the patrons that are here today. So guys, I think I'm ready to start. So who else is coming? We've had Daisy, Alicia, let me just run through it, Hunter, who else? I'm just checking. Sherry, I said hi to already. All right. Perfect. Good, thank you guys. Got a PR team here. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start first of all with my Caput Mortuum. I'm just trying to say it. It probably is completely wrong, but anyway, I'm going to go in with this one first. Now, 80's already put in, it's slightly grayscale, this image, I would say. It's not just a complete line image. A line image wouldn't include these grey sort of areas that are included on this one, so I think it's a partial grayscale because we've got a little bit of detail sort of greyed in there. Obviously the butterflies are more line, but you get the point. So I'm going to go in with this colour and just put it into all of the areas that she's already shaded out, and I'm going to add a few areas as well because I want to put a little bit more shadow behind the flower, and just on this side of her face, her hair's covering over her face, so I would definitely put a shadow in there. So it's been stopped sort of here, but I want to go all the way with that one, and that would sort of marry in with her hair shadow here as well. Okay, so white gel pens, I just scribble on my page next to me and get it working before using it again. Sometimes when it goes over the wax it stops working a bit, but you just give it a scribble on your page and it works again. You guys happy? I might move in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. A little bit closer there for you. I'm just going to have a mouthful of water. I'm already dry. Okay. I'm using my pencil on an angle, so I'm using it, holding it up the top here, and I'm holding it down on the paper on sort of like almost a horizontal angle, so I get it really nice and light. I don't want to indent the paper, so doing that lightly first like that will help to do that. Not to do that, I should say. I'm using Nina Classic Crest 80-pound solar white paper. And I'm just going to go over the top of that colour where it's all greyed and just lay this colour down. So you may not be able to see in that light. Hi Connie. Hi Kim, another Kim. Hi Kim too. Kimberly and Kim. Just moving in a tiny little bit more. Just trying to stay out of the shadows there as well. So I'm just going lightly over those areas that are already greyed first. Have I dropped out, have I? Can you still see me there? That's Shadow talking in the background. Is my voice frozen as well, or is it just the picture? Okay, refreshed. Okay. Okay. Hi, Laurie. That's my sharpener, whoever asked again. It's a Deli hand crank sharpener. Yeah, I'm going to come down around her face here, and I'm actually going to lay this down underneath the hair here as well. And just bring it down the side of her cheek there. And I'm just going to go in under her eye as well. Hi, Shadow. Yes, she's meowing in the background. Hi, Shadow. Did you come to say hello to everyone? You did? Oh. Am I talking to everybody and not you? Oh, poor kitty. Yeah, she's a bit of a sook. She's at my legs right now. Shadow's a Bengal cat and she's really talkative. And it just started raining, and I think some birds might have been under our pergola, so she was having a gnat at them before. She was having a wonderful time. Actually, it just got really cold here. It is pretty, Loretta. I really like this one too. We'll make the eyes look as realistic as we can. That's where our white gel pen will come in handy. Hi Anne, thanks for dropping in. Trying not to go off screen. Sorry, Linda. Hi, Melanie. Okay, so I'm going to go just behind the flower a little bit there where it sort of curls over the face. Just using really light pressure still. Thanks, Anne. Okay, so I've now added in shadow around the areas that weren't greyed out, just around the flower there, and the rest is all sort of greyed out now, so I'm going to go in and colour over that. This area around the nose is fairly dark, so I'm just going to make sure I'm colouring over that grey with a thin layer. We're going to gradually build up the colour from the shadow areas, so this grey will eventually be completely covered over. Alicia, my cat doesn't eat anything but raw meat. Yeah, she's a bit of a fussy bum. Yeah, she has kangaroo meat. They sell it in dog food packs here. It's a nice strong gamey sort of flavour, kangaroo-ies, and it's full of essential fats, so good source of protein for kitties. So I'm using the Caput Mortuum first. So if you haven't joined before, there is a list of the colours that I'm using in the description. So this part here on the cheek, she's sort of done a little bit of a dip in. I'm just going to match that on this side. You're not going to see a lot of it because it's covered with hair, but I just wanted to match that in. I'm just coming in here underneath this bit of hair here as well. Randy, no, it doesn't taste like chicken. Alright, I'm just doing it underneath the lip as well. We're kind of doing a bit of a half moon shape here on the chin. You can create a little bit of a dip in the middle of the chin there if you like as well. Just going back over to this side, joining it all in together. And I've just done around the lip area at the top as well there, and just on the nose. I'm just going to bring this shadow here from the nose up to the eye. I'm going to follow that curve, just really lightly marking that in. Oh, I have once, but I wouldn't have it regularly. No, I don't like it that much. Okay, so I've done that. What do I taste like? Ew, squirrel, that's ugh. Just coming in here under the neck area. This is quite dark under here, so I'm putting a tiny little bit more pressure, not too much because I don't want to break my pencil. It is quite cold, so I'm being really careful, okay, though. I'm trying not to break my pencils today. Now, what I'm actually going to do is, I think I'm going to stop the neck, I don't know, around here. And I'm actually going to make all of this background color in here, so I'm not going down too far. Just putting a little bit of a shadow behind the butterfly wing there and the hair. Oh, I've got a bump in my paper there. Okay, first layer's done. Now I'm going to come in with Sanguine. Thanks, Linda. I've got Sanguine 188 and I'm just coming in over the top of that previous color, and I'm just extending this now. I'm just creating larger shadows, so we're going into those really deep shadow areas and we're still creating and blending out towards our lightest highlight areas. So just coming over the top of that previous color and just coming a little bit further out or down or wide or long depending on what angle you're on. So you should be able to see that coming now up on the camera a bit more. Just going to move the camera slightly, sorry to make you dizzy. I'll just wait for it to stop wobbling. Okay, that's a bit better. I just couldn't move my picture around straight without you guys missing it. So I'm just going to turn it upside down, whatever angle I need to get to lay down that pencil nice and smooth. just coming in over the top of the other colour there. Starting to build into these cheek areas, above the eyebrow also. Kind of using, I don't know, really light circular motions, I guess. The pencil's so light that it's only just barely visible there. Oh. Oh no, Linda, that's terrible. I've actually got 3 diamond paintings sitting here from almost 6 months ago now. I've been in contact with the company about 50 times. They've forgotten a bag of diamonds in each set, so I'm not impressed. And every time I send them an email, they say, yep, we'll work on that, we'll get it fixed for you, and I still have not received them. So I'm not very happy. And I paid more, like they were in the more expensive range as well. They weren't the cheaper sort of Wish ones. So yeah, not happy. I'm using Nina Classic Crest paper. This is the 80-pound Solar White. It's really smooth paper, so you do have to go really light layers with it. It doesn't take a lot of heavy layers. It took me a long time, Randy, to get used to doing it like that. Holding the pencil at the end of the pencil helps tremendously. It's a lot harder to put pressure down when you're laying the pencil down like I am now, without actually breaking it. So it sort of forces you to be a little bit light-handed, especially when it comes to Prismas. But yeah, I was always very heavy-handed when I started. I actually never used Prismas when I first started because I hated how they broke all the time. Now it's not so bad. I'm not saying I don't break them, because I definitely do. You might be able to substitute it for another colour. I know that in some of the places you can actually order colours. So that might be worth looking at as well, but it's going to take a long time for it to get here. That's the only thing. They actually sell the diamond paintings in Spotlight here in Australia now. Something a little bit new, but I went and had a look. And they're all like partial diamond paintings, so it's not the whole image that's covered. I've still got Nikki Burnett's one sitting here that I haven't even started yet. I will do it one day. Thanks, Loretta. It happens. It even happens with polys. It will happen later on when I get to the heavier layers, you watch. What I've actually done here on the cheek is I've sort of come out from the bottom of the nose there, and I've lined it up with the shadow that was already there to create like a round sort of circle on top of the cheek there. Just a little bit of a highlight there. And I'm just coming down and filling out this whole area now towards her chin. So just down there, filling it all out, joining it all together. I'm only leaving this moon shape sort of round area in here free for now. I'm just going to leave that for some lighter colours. Just got a little dip in her chin there, and then I'm coming around. So I've left a bit of a round shape on her chin there to make it look like it's more prominent and coming forward a bit more. No, Sharon, I'm not. I'm not sure where the fire is, but I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to say no, I'm not. I do have a fire alert app. We've had a few over the last few years, really bad ones. Alright, I'm going to come down to the neck and just repeat over that. Won't stop buffering, I'm not sure why. It should be loading. If you tried maybe decreasing the level, the quality maybe down to 480 or whatever it is, that might help. Yeah, I think 720 is what I've put it on this time to help it with the buffering, because I think when it was on the higher level it was just so hard to get a clear image without buffering. So dropping it down a level might help. Alright, I think I'm covered over now with all of those areas. Just back on the nose a little bit there. And just coming over the forehead a little bit, I just even that up there. Okay, I'm going to come in now with the cinnamon. I'm not near Footscray, no, I'm on the other side of the city. I'm on the peninsula side of the city, so not over that side. I wonder why it's buffering. It's raining here. Do you think that might be part of it? I've got cinnamon and I've got it in how about I speak clearly? In an extender. I got these from China off eBay, and hubby had to actually fix the ring thing because none of the pencils would fit in it. But I'm quite happy to say now it even fits my Luminance pencil, so that's good. Yeah, I brought 6 so that I could have them all set up in my sets without having to change them all the time. So I'm coming over the top of the previous colour we've already done, and you can see I've moved my hand down the pencil and I've lifted the pencil up a little bit straighter now because I'm putting a little bit more pressure on, not a lot more. It still is light, but it's a little bit heavier than it was before. I'm just going over the top of that previous colour, and I'm actually extending this further out now. I'm going to go over very lightly, so changing the pressure back to light. And come further in towards those highlighted sections now. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of a forehead for the highlight. Just changing the angle of my pencil because I was leaving some lines there. Hi Katrina. Okay, is it alright now though? You can see it okay? I didn't see, did Nick come in? Did he? Hi Nick. Who else was there? I'm on live chat, so I must have missed something back there. Oh, yep, there you are. Okay, so I'm just using the cinnamon at the moment. Hi, Shadow. Yeah. So, yes, please, like away. And subscribe if you haven't already. So this colour along will go for 4 weeks. I'll do the skin and hopefully we'll get the eyes and the mouth done as well today. And then we'll work on the hair next week. And then we'll, actually we might work on the flowers next week, and then we'll work on the hair. And then flowers, hair, what else is there? And then the background and the rest of the details, I guess. Butterflies, they're going to take a little bit. But we'll split it into 4 weeks, so we'll get it done over the 4 weeks. I'm just very lightly going over those highlighted sections. Just putting a little bit of colour in there, so when I come over with the light flesh, it's not too light. It mixes in a little bit with that. Yeah, Shadow always talks to me, Loretta. She's a bit of a talker. There's actually a video, one of the first videos I ever uploaded to YouTube of her. I'm sitting there asking her questions and she's talking to me. It's funny. Okay, so the only area that I haven't put much colour into now is the tip of the nose, or the top of the nose there, a little bit on the forehead up here, and also the tops of her cheeks there are a lot lighter than the rest. And also I've left a little area on the chin down here as well that's got hardly any colour in it yet. So they'll be our highlighted areas. On the neck, there's not going to be too many highlighted areas. I'm going to go in over the top of all of this with that cinnamon now. Still using fairly light pressure though. Cats have to be my favorite animal. Alright. Now before I go any further with the skin colour, I just want to add in a little bit of pink cheeks there. I've got light purple pink, and I'm just going to come in on the side here, really lightly placing in this colour. I'm just going to keep going over it until I can see the cheeks starting to come alive. I'm going over that little highlighted piece a little bit as well. Just trying to get the top of her cheek there to be a little bit more red or pink. How's that coming out now? Starting to come up. Just going to do the same on the other side. This side's not going to be as wide because her hair's there already. Okay, a little blush area. It's kind of hard because her hair's covering over and it doesn't look even. I think that's pretty good. Alright, now I've got the light flesh, and now I'm going to cover over the whole entire skin area. I'm using in the middle of the pencil now, so still light to medium pressure. We're going to go back in with some of those darker colours and make sure those shadow areas are really nice and deep. So we're going to be going over with another layer, I should say. But we want to cover over most of the skin and have it nice and smooth if we can. With this paper there's still a tiny little bit of a grain because if you push down it doesn't coat very well with, so you'll still be able to see a little bit of a tooth on it, but as smooth as I can possibly get it. We're going to come over the top with the cream and the ivory to put some yellow tones in there as well, so it's not quite so orange or pink coloured. Lost my train of thought then. It's coming in now. Who's following along anyway? I haven't seen many chatting there. Maybe you're all following along. Trying to. Probably a little bit quicker. Shirley. Oh, hi Shirley, I didn't see you before. Hiding away there. Debbie. Sherry. Alicia, are you in my group? Ah, that happens, Opal. Hi. Oh, well, that's good, Randy. We don't want to hear about your food and we don't want to see it. Thank you. So the Alicia, the group links in the description. This image is available in the event in there. So if you go and answer the questions and pop into the group after the feed, I'll accept you and you can have a look at the event in there. So if you want to get the picture, you can. And these colour alongs run for 4 weeks, and I've got a couple of artists still to go, set up, ready to go. We've got Michelle Tracy, we've got another one from Heather Valentine coming up after this one actually. We're going to be doing a Halloween one. And I think then I've got Michelle Tracy, and I think then I've left December free because I wasn't sure what we were going to do then, so we can do something. I've been given a few artists go-aheads for them, so that's really good. It gives us all the opportunity to get the image and get exposed to a new artist. Now 80 has 3 books I think out at the moment. In those books though, most of them are like forest scenes, and I think there might be a couple of ladies in them. I'm not sure, I haven't flicked through all of them, but there's some really pretty books that she's also got. You'll be able to see them on her Etsy page as well. Okay, I'm just going over Mr. Chin. Hello, Shadow, again. Alright, I think I've covered everything in her face now. Just making sure it's all nice and smooth. Back down to her neck just to finish that off. Oh, my phone's vibrating away there. Okay, slowly filling it in. I've got cream. And I'm just going to go over the top of all of that, light pressure. Just adding in a little bit of yellow tone. Just makes it look a little bit less pink. It's really hard to see in this light, but there is a difference there when I've added that on. Just done it really roughly, but I'm covering over all of that really lightly too. I've got my pencil on the side again. I'm just roughly covering over that with a light layer. The idea is that we eventually cover up all of the grayscale areas with colour, and we have nice depth in there and some nice highlights as well. Linda, I've been playing around with that image that I was doing last night with those pan pastels, and I've just got to put some more yellow into it, and then I think I'm finished. I got myself some pan pastels in skin colours and a few other colours as well, and been trying to practice skin colours. I haven't actually chosen a colour yet for the hair. I think I'm going with purples, blues, yellow and pale green, so possibly blonde hair. She's going to have blue eyes, so it's all still I don't know. I usually don't work it out, sit and play with it until the day before, but once I figure out, I think the flowers will be pink, so I think in blonde might go well with that. Pencil's definitely not a pencil. They're made of different things to start with. Made different quality. Some pencils don't have as much pigment. Almost finished with the cream. A lot of the tooth's already flattened out, which is fine. Obviously once I scan it up, you'll be able to see that colour a little bit better. I think the light's a little bit bright for it. Alright, just gonna see if I can, not sure if that makes it a little better, but I'm coming back in with, let me just, I'm going to come back in with the Caput Mortuum, and I'm just going to redo these shadow areas, just really darken them up, add a bit more depth back in, because we've gone over it with those lighter colours, it's really softened off. I'm just going to go over it a couple of times. I'm still using fairly light pressure, but I'm just repeating the same area so that it covers over a little bit darker. So you can see that really nicely now. I also changed the light on the camera too so that you guys could see it a little better. So just repeating over and over until you can actually see the colour on the page nicely. How's that look now? You can really see those real depths in the shadow areas. It makes the face look a little bit rounder. So this is not from a book, this is off 80's Etsy store. It's called Girl with Lilies. I did mention before that if you'd like to get a copy of it, then if you join the group, my Facebook group, and then join the event, you can get the image. There is only 4 weeks to do that, so if you're watching this after the fact, it is available in her Etsy store. So we're really deepening up these shadow areas now. I'm just re-going over those areas just to make sure I've built up enough colour on there so that you can now see it. I'm just checking the chat again. Sharpener. Yeah, it's called Deli. The brand's Deli. Just so you can see it there. If you just look up Deli on Amazon or Wish even, you should be able to find something there. I don't think they have the froggy ones anymore, but I've seen pandas and other animals and things like that. It's a hand crank one as well. Linda, the kitty likes you, and it's so cold. It likes cuddles. So have you guys seen the new tattoo book by Jade Summer? I haven't actually done a flip through. I could do one. I just get requests for other things as well. Just going in on the cheek there, making sure I've got a nice shadow in there. Around the eyes and the nose. So in the live video that I did on Monday, we had a talk about things that we say here in Australia that is different to other countries. And someone actually commented in the actual comments under the video, because they didn't comment in the live chat, but that there was a couple of others that we say completely different, and I just wanted to share it because Tamara, we were talking about beetroot on our burgers and other things here in Australia that we say, but someone brought up a rubber. So apparently, I mean, when I was at school, we used to say rubber all the time. We didn't know any other name for. Does anyone know what it is? I'm using Caput Mortuum again. Oh, you did, Loretta? Yeah, so we don't call, it's different, a little bit different now. My kids actually call it an eraser now, but we actually used to call it a rubber. But yeah, I think but that's another one, eraser. We're starting to get some nice depth in here now. You can really see the shape of her face. How's that? Just going to go back into these shadows again. Deepen them up a little bit. Just going to play around now with the shading and things like that. I'm going to add in some more of the Sanguine and just go back over what I've just done again. So we're kind of doing a second layer in those darker shadow areas. Just making sure they're nice and soft. Blend it out nicely, but we've still got plenty of shadows. I will use a little bit more cinnamon too, I think, just to push that out a little bit further. I was using Caput Mortuum, that one. I'm now using Sanguine. Which is like a burnt orange type colour. We're just building up the colour over the previous colours, making sure we've got lots of depth. You want to make sure you keep your highlight sections there as well. Because your highlights will make those darker sections look a lot more deeper. A lot more deeper. That wasn't proper English, was it? A lot more? I don't know. Not good with the English. Gobbledygook is my language. Door, white door. So, you can purchase this one on her Etsy store, on 80's Etsy store. It's 80 Schaffer art, I think it comes up as. Anyway, the links are in the description below there. If you are a member of my group, you can get it. It's available in there, so you can pop over to the event and have a look at that. You do need to answer the 3 questions to get into the group, or you won't be accepted. Just like to know a bit about you, where you found out about the group and things like that. So a couple of rules. I think I'm almost finished with the Sanguine now. As I said, I'm just going in and just adjusting a few of the areas, make sure they're dark enough. All right. Hair? What? Thanks, Randy, I think. I always listen to Australians do their little Aussie talk and on YouTube and things like that, and it just makes me cringe. We sound so nasally, and I don't know, it's just weird. Yeah, just weird. You know, I was once on the phone to a customer when I was working in insurance, and he knew where I came from by my accent, and he knew which state I was from and everything. It was really random. But people can pick up on different types of language. Yes, hair. I don't know. It sounds fine to me. What about Copic? I call it Copic, and some people call it Copic. I think it just depends on where you're from and what you've heard. I'm not afraid. I give anything a go. I wouldn't be here today if somebody didn't give me a push to go make a tutorial video for them. Hillary, I actually brought mine on sale. I think they're $195 from the art shop actually. They were awesome priced at that time. I had already started collecting them as single pencils, but ended up, when they came on special, I ended up just buying the whole lot again, and I just kept all the others for spares. But yeah, they were quite cheap when I got them. Yeah, we say lollies, not candy. We say lollies. Lolly? Want a lolly? I know some say candy. But you know, it's called a lollipop, not a candy pop. Yeah, we call them lollies. Alright, I'm fairly happy with the depth that we've got in there. I'm just going to soften it off a little bit more with that cinnamon again. And just bring that out. Just to soften it off a little bit so it doesn't look like such a defined line between the shadows and the light colour there. So I'm doing a little bit more pressure here, and I'm releasing the pressure as I come out over that lighter area. So we're just softening off those edges. So I was saying in earlier in the week in a feed that we call it Aussies, not Aussies. People in other countries say Aussie, but it's actually Aussie. Bye Grace, thanks for dropping in. With the noses, it took me a little while to get the hang of them, but usually the artist will draw in this sort of section down here, and then I just go sort of from the edge of the nose, and I just kind of do a bit of a round shape. But some noses are shaped different, and Jasmine Beckett has lots of strange shaped noses. She's got little button noses, and Hannah Lynn doesn't have any noses. Does anyone notice that? They've just got little lines. But yeah, I just sort of make it look either button or give it a little bit of a line to show the bridge of the nose and things. Just softening off those edges still, using the cinnamon. I don't want it to look like such a defined line between the dark and the light, so I'm just going in and filling those areas out. I'm doing it kind of firm in those dark areas and then loosening up the pressure as I come out so that I don't have a line. Just on this edge down here, I'm not happy with that. It's not connecting well. Just play with it until I can get it right. Just change my angle so that I'm going over. There was a few strokes in there, so I'll just move my page so that I could get a better angle. On this paper, it shows every little indentation and mark, so just coming across the bridge of the nose a little bit, making that a bit darker. I think we've nearly finished the skin now. I decided to make it till 11 o'clock so that we could get the eyes and the lips done so that the face was sort of completed. I did think we'd need the extra half hour to do that as well. Just in here, I've got a little bit of darker colour coming over the nose there. I'm just going to rub that out. There you go, with my rubber and my eraser. Just brighten that up a little bit. Just coming around the face here. Just needed to fill in some darker skin in there. That's much better. You can't sort of tell now, but you will be able to once I scan it. It wasn't quite even there. So just make sure that you go back in and you just make sure everything's even. Make sure your colour tones are fairly even. You've got nice shadows, that they don't sort of look too much like they're sort of standing straight out from everything else, but they sort of blend out to a shadow. Just need to fill in a little bit of a darker area in here, but not too dark. Don't want it as dark as those shadows, but I want there to be a difference between this section here and this section here, which is a lot lighter. So high up on the cheek there, I've made like a little highlight section. I want to try and keep that. There's also, just with the nose and getting the cheekbones as well, I tend to go from like the ear sort of section here and go around towards the nose too. So you know what, it actually depends on what the artist has done. Like if it's a grayscale, they've probably already filled it in. Depends on how you want it to look, I guess. Not every face is stunningly beautiful and has perfect highlights and perfect skin color, hey? Ah, dear. Just going to add a little bit more of the light flesh in. Going to go over the darker colors and back out again. Just lightly. The yellow is still underneath fairly well, so I can still see the yellow coming through. So the paper's not actually burnished down, so guys, you don't have to put heaps of pressure on and have that paper burnished. I think because this paper is quite smooth anyway, you can't really tell that it's not burnished. It's really smooth anyway. But depending on what type of paper you're using, obviously if you want to go down and push the tooth of the paper down, I'd probably do it on this layer. Hi Lynn, I'm using light flesh now. The cinnamon is in the extender, so yeah, I used to find noses really daunting, Linda, but much better now. Shadow's having a great old time here. She's getting into trouble. Shadow! Shh! She wants to go out and see Daddy and he's locked her out, so she's upset. Shh! You're naughty. So I'm still using the light flesh, just finishing it off now. I might just go over a little bit maybe with the ivory, I'm not sure yet, I haven't decided. Just have to stand back and have a look at it. I really don't think it needs any more yellow. I think it's pretty good. Just evening off the tooth, making sure there's no lines through there. I think we need a little bit more pink. I've got my light purple pink, and I'm just going to go in and over the top of those cheeks again, just deepen up those little fleshy pinky blush sort of parts. Bye, Daisy. I like the smooth paper. I especially like it with Prismas, I'm not sold on it still. I think Prismas are a lot waxier, so the wax, it's harder with smooth paper to build up different layers of wax, whereas because these are oil based, I think they seem to lay down nice and smooth on this particular paper. So, and it's really easy to flatten out the tooth if you haven't, by using the colourless full blender. So I would sort of flatten out areas. I'll just do the neck so you can see. You might not be able to tell the difference there, but just deepens up the colour and flattens off the tooth of the paper, and it makes it look a lot smoother. But it's harder to do that. I think a lot of the wax sort of comes off when you do that with the Prismas. But I've brought a whole heap of it, and I've been using it for everything, so it's pretty good. The only thing that I found that it didn't work that well on was the pan pastel skin I was trying to do. I ended up using different paper for that. I'm just using the Caran full blender, and I'm just softening off some of these areas so you can see the difference. You can still go over the top of this blender with the polys too, so if you find that you've done this and you've smoothed it off and the colour still doesn't look quite right, you can still go in and adjust it, which I really like about this. But I've just done the cheek area there. I thought it might deepen it up a bit, which it has. There's a couple of areas there I need to fix up. They're a little bit rough. Yeah, you may need to use a blender. That's what my stepdad calls me, Belinda Blender. Anyway, perfect. Let's do some eyes. I'm gonna move in really close. Hello, welcome to the eyes of the soul. I've got Delft Blue. I'm going to go in where all of those dark black lines have lined out there with the blue. So just around the outside there. Using firmer pressure now. And I'm trying not to break the tip of my pencil. There's some little sort of dots in there. I'm actually just going to make them lines. Just lining inwards. Just like that. I'm going to do the same on this side. Some little lines in there. Just going to make it a little bit darker at the top there. So you can see now that I've kind of left a little bit of a moon shape, so I'm just going to do that on that side as well. I think I need water. I'm so thirsty lately. Alright, and then I've got some sky blue. And I'm just going to fill out the rest of that area now. Just coming down. I'm going to leave a tiny little section just on the bottom there of white. Same on this side. Just going over the top of there, leaving a little tiny section in there white. Now I've got my Luminance white there. I'm just going to go in with that and just do that white section there and just smudge it out over that lighter blue. There you go. Do the same on this side, just going in with the white and just smudging it out over the lighter blue, going up towards the dark blue, just like that. And then I've got my black. I've got Prismacolor black by Caran. I'm just squishing in my chair here, slipping down. I'm just going to go over all of these outline areas, so like the eyeliner sections at the top here. Just coming around, very lightly doing the bottom one. I've got my pencil nice and sharp. Now I'm going to really lightly come down to those shadow areas that are in the top lid there and lay this tiny little bit of black in there and just around the corner. And what I'm going to do is with that white Caran dash, I'm just going to blend out from that light colour out over the top of that. So we're just lightening and smoothing it off so it's nice and light. Just like that. On this side. I'm going to use my brush because we're using Prismas. There's a lot of that. Okay, I want to go over this iris part, make that nice and black, and just leaving those highlighted sections there. I'm going to just do the same on the other. Just going to the iris, or pupil I should say. Did I say iris before? But it's a pupil. Following the waterline and along the bottom as well. Just lightly covering over the grey section. Kind of like to do it around the edge a little bit there as well. And I've just got the white just to blend that out. Now I'm going to actually put a little bit of the pink that I was using, the middle, which pink was I using? I'm going to put some light purple pink in. Dust that out. The cat is really playing up now. I've got light purple pink. Just going to put a tiny little bit in there, and I'm just going to lightly layer some down on that water sort of line there. A little bit in the corner. Just going to put a tiny bit underneath the eye there. Inside the eyeball as well. Just rubbing that back out again with the white. Hi Shadow, stop it. She's having a hard time today. Alright, now I'm going to use the black, or you could use a fine liner, and just go over the top of those lashes and put that colour back in. Just flicking out over the top of those, because the skin colour did just sort of dull them off a little bit. I think she just wants to annoy me. I think Cameron just locked her up, so let her back out when I finished. She's locked in my bedroom with her water and her food, and just added a couple more in the edge there of the eye. Okay, now we use the white gel pen to do the highlight sections. It's just a white line at the top here. And a little dot there. I'm also going to put a tiny little dots on the waterline to make it look kind of shiny there as well. Just like that. And then on the top again, I might scratch that one down a bit. I think it's a bit too thick. It's better. Just another dot there, and then a tiny little bit around the waterline. Just a couple on that white section there as well. There's your eyes. I'll just zoom back out and you'll be able to see those a bit better. And we're going to do the lips. And then we'll be done for today and we'll come back later. I've got Fuchsia. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to go into the dark sections of the lips. I'm using firmer pressure now. I'm not worrying about doing layers. Just going in and marking over the top of those really dark black lines. You could use sort of any colour in here. You don't have to use pink. You might like to use a beige or something. That's fine too. I've gone with pink because I'm going to be doing pink lilies. I seem to have done a lot of lilies lately. It's a bit of a coincidence. I didn't mean that to come out all at one time, but yeah. Got all these lilies going on. I like lilies, so that's fine. I've just done some little like texture lines in there too. When you have a look at lips, there's all these little tiny lines and cracks. So I've just added that in there as well. Those in the middle, from the middle out on the bottom lip as well. Almost done. So we'll be finishing, I think we'll do the lilies next week, and then we'll do the hair the following week, and maybe we'll finish off the butterflies in the background in the last week. So I've got the light purple pink now. Light purple pink, and I'm just going to go in over the top of that and just lightly, I'm saying lightly because I'm not putting any pressure on, I'm just laying this colour down for now. I'm going to use a little bit of white to soften that off. Just filling in the areas I hadn't done. So I only went over those grey sort of areas. Now I've got the white Luminance pencil, or you could use a white Prismacolor, it's up to you. Just going to go into those highlights and just blend those off. Just make that pink a little bit softer. And I just need to go back in with the fuchsia and just make that little shadow under there a little bit darker. So what I'll do is I'll pop this through the scanner and post it up in the event today so you guys can see how the work in progress is going, and you can have a look and you can use it to help determine whether you need to add anything or fix anything up on your own as well. But don't forget, you can use your own colors. I'm just trying to show you some techniques and things, and obviously a bit of color matching and things like that is good for you anyway to learn. And also learning what colors sort of go together. Okay, those lips are done. Now what I do on lips is I do put a little bit of a highlight with my gel pen. Needs a scribble. Just to show a couple of shiny patches on there. Just going to move back out again now. I might have missed. What 3 questions? Oh, when you join the group, when you join a group on Facebook, some people you have to answer questions to get into the group. So when you do go to join, it will come up with a little section where you need to fill out 3 questions. There's 3 little sections there about how you heard about the group. Also, a couple of other things like rules in the group as well. You must just agree to them. So yeah, if they're not filled out, then it automatically gets declined. So if you can fill that out, that would be good, because then we know where you're coming from, and yeah, you'll get accepted. What else was there? I'm just looking. Any other questions? Some of them are lowercase, and I haven't been able to see what's come up. I've only sort of flicked it to see what was in capitals. Thank you, Kimberly. It does look pretty now. She's looking good. I'll move out a bit so you can see her there. I might actually even increase the colour on her cheeks. I think she needs a little bit more blush. Just fixing that up now. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. She's come out good. So I'm thinking we might do blue butterflies, and maybe blue and aqua. I think that would look pretty. Blonde hair and pink lilies with some green stems through there. Thanks, Randy. And thanks, is it, excuse me, Treasures. Who else have I got? Samantha. Thank you. Who else? No worries, Shirley. Tamara. Thank you, guys. So the link for my group is in the description below. And it's called, well, Faithful Girl 1978, or Colouring Tips and Tutorials with Faithful Girl 1978. So I can try and grab the give me 2 secs. I'll try and grab the link, pop it in the chat there for you. I hope that goes straight to it. I'm looking forward to doing the rest of this one. Looking good. I think she still might need a little bit more shadows, but I'll just adjust a couple of those things before I pop it up for you. And you can do the same as well. If you think that it looks like it's a little bit too flat, then obviously you go in a little bit more with those shadows. Sometimes doing shadows first helps to lift up those highlights, so check that out first. No worries, Debbie, thank you. Yeah, I think maybe blondie brown, brownie blonde, sandy blonde. Yeah, I think that will be good. No worries, Lo. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, so much for coming in. If you have any questions, pop over to Facebook and message me. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those. I've got a page on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So also too, we were talking about Patreon earlier on. All of the links for that are in the description as well, but you can also check out Patreon too. That'd be great. I've got a new video coming out tomorrow, so there'll be a new full tutorial for patrons, and there'll also be a speed colouring on my channel. So guys, I'm going to head off now, and I'll get this scanned up sometime during the day today, and I'll post it up in the event so you can see the finished product or finished work in progress there. And don't forget to hit like, that's right, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click on the little bell and you'll get notifications. So I'm pretty certain if you click on the little bell too, when I actually set up the live video, you'll actually get a notification to say that the live video has been set up. And when you click on the live link, it actually has that countdown timer as well. So if you're not sure about your time zone and things like that, check out that countdown timer, because it will help you out. So guys, bye, and thank you so much. For those just coming in or just missed or got the end of it, you can go back and rewatch it through the same link, so you can rewatch what we've done today. Thanks again, guys. Bye.